Hey everyone, this is Russell with Geek.com, and we have two Samsung Galaxy S4s here. On the left, we have the normal T-Mobile Samsung Galaxy S4, but on the right, we have the Google Play Edition Galaxy S4, which is also supported on T-Mobile. These two phones are identical in hardware. They have Snapdragon 600 processor, 16 gigs of storage, 2 gigs of RAM, a 13 megapixel rear shooter, and they run pretty much identically. The big difference here, as you may or may not know, is software. One is running the closest thing to vanilla Android is made by Google, which means it doesn't have all the bonus features that are made by the Samsung initiated version of this Galaxy S4, which of course has TouchWiz built in. But as you can see, swiping back and forth, they're just about as smooth. The Galaxy S4 with Samsung software does stutter a little tiny bit, whereas the Google Play Edition software, which is the pure Android, doesn't stutter at all with the hardware that it's running on. So there are some tiny performance differences as you slide back and forth and try and use these two phones. They're both running Android 4.2.2, though we've already seen 4.3 leaked for the Galaxy S4 Google Play Edition. We haven't seen any word about the official announcement for that or when the TouchWiz version would get it. But really what we're doing here is just comparing these two phones. The launchers are exactly what you would expect. Google Wallet comes on the Google Play Edition, which is interesting because it doesn't come on the HTC One Google Play Edition. So if we go and perform just an app comparison here, we're going to load Reign of Amira: The Lost Kingdom, which is Qualcomm's Snapdragon test environment. This is a game that they made specifically to run on the Snapdragon 600 processors, and we're just going to run these two side by side so that you can see, just in raw load time, how they compare to each other. We're going to load these both at the exact same time, and these two are running the exact same hardware. The only difference here is software. So what you'll see here is that the Google Play Edition is just slightly faster. It loads each bit of the level just a tiny bit faster, and this is consistent through the entire load experience, where just the performance is slightly different on the Google Play Edition versus the Samsung TouchWiz version of the Galaxy S4. When you actually get into the gameplay, once you get past these loading screens and the animation style, once you actually go to play the game, the experience would be the same. Just because they're running the same hardware, and there's not a whole lot that'll take away from that. But the software difference here does cause the Google Play Edition to be noticeably faster. The screen actually timed out in the time that it took to load Reign of Amira on the TouchWiz version. But if you go ahead and play, you'll see the actual gameplay as you swing the sword and go through. There's no stuttering here, unlike the core of the operating system. Performance is identical between these two phones in actual gameplay, but like I said before, loading is obviously something that is a little different. And the Reign of Amira is something that we've tested on the HTC One as well. It runs the same really on just about any Snapdragon 600 chipset, which was the goal that's Qualcomm had in mind for Snapdragon GPU tests. So we'll take a look at the camera here. This is another big difference between the Galaxy S4 stock and the Galaxy S4 Google Play Edition, is that this is wildly different camera modes. The stock version that was made by Samsung with TouchWiz has a lot more camera features. The animated video mode, the ability to use the front and rear cameras at the same time, those are all features that are gone from the Google Play Edition. You get vanilla Android, just like you would get from a Nexus phone, on the phone on the right, with no extra bells and whistles, no extra apps. You can see the Samsung version's got a ton of extra apps preloaded. You've got Flipboard, you've got T-Mobile TV, and none of that stuff is on the Google Play Edition. So if you are the hardcore Android enthusiast who is looking for just the bare bones Android that you can customize exactly how you want and not have to mess around with this extra carrier bloatware, this is exactly what you want. Taking a look at another, not performance intensive, not resource intensive application is Chrome. Chrome, comes preloaded on both of these phones. So we will go ahead and just a quick browser test to Geek.com, and we'll see, just how basic browsing is affected by the software that's preloaded on here. The screen flicker that you're seeing on the left-hand side, even though the screens are exactly the same, they're just slightly different for that particular menu. But you can see that it loaded on the right-hand side much faster than it did on the left, and the menu that popped up there didn't come up until much later. So that's just a quick look. Obviously, there's very small performance differences, but they are there. Thanks for watching.